welcome. Today I will be playing Never Have I Ever. There are some things that I've done that I think are kind of interesting, and then there's some things that I have not done that I'm like, wow, those are so basic, I can't believe I've never done that. So we'll probably reveal some of those things today. Let's just get right on into it. Okay, number 1. Never have I ever cheated on a test. Not technically. I have never cheated on an actual test, but I cheated on a pre-test when I was in 2nd grade. For spelling, we had pre-tests. If you got all 20 words correct on the pre-test, you would not have to take the actual test at the end of the week. And I did not like studying all the spelling words, so I always tried to get 100 on the pre-test. One day when we were taking a pre-test, I could not remember if the word flies was spelled F-L-I-E-S or F-L-Y-S. And I cheated off of the girl that was sitting on my left, and I looked at her paper and she had F-L-I-E-S, and I was like, that's it. Fun fact, that girl actually left the school, and then she came back in high school in 10th grade, and I said I was sorry. It just ate me up inside whenever I thought about it. Number 2, never have I ever peed in a pool. Yes. Number 3, never have I ever fallen asleep in public. Yes. I remember one time when we were at Disney, I fell asleep on top of my dad in the Disney bus. I'm sure I've fallen asleep at church before, because when I was really little, we used to go to a church that had pews, and I would just lay down in the pews and fall asleep during the sermon. That is so bad, but it definitely happened. Never have I ever sang in public. Yes, all of the time. Whether that is actually performing in public in front of people or if it's just singing at random places. I can just burst out into song. It doesn't even have to sound good. It just randomly happens. Never have I ever played a musical instrument. Yes, I have played a musical instrument. I've played piano for a long time. I think that's it. I think that's the only instrument I've played. Never have I ever gone snowboarding. No, I don't plan on it either because 1, it sounds cold, and 2, I think I would break both of my knees. Never have I ever traveled to a foreign country. Yes, I've been to a foreign country twice. I went on a Disney cruise with my school one year, and we traveled to the Bahamas and some other island I can't remember. The second time I went out of the country was to the Dominican Republic. I went on another trip with my school. Never have I ever overdrafted my bank account. No, I am a pretty frugal person, so I haven't ever overdrafted my bank account. Never have I ever learned a foreign language. Yes, I have learned a foreign language. I took Spanish class for 3 years. I learned Spanish words, and if I hear someone say a Spanish word, I could pick it out, but I don't think I could have a full-on conversation that actually made sense. Never have I ever texted at the movies. No. I've texted before the movies started, like, hey, I'm here at the movies, Mom. No, I've never texted during the movie because that drives me crazy. Please don't do that. Never have I ever donated an organ. No, I have not donated an organ, but I am an organ donor. Never have I ever lied to a law enforcement officer. No, you're in big trouble if you've lied to a law enforcement officer. We did have to call the police one time at our house. A police officer came to our house and we described what happened to him, and I just don't think he believed me. So maybe he thought I was lying to him, but I wasn't. I understand I did not explain the situation very well. Someone just showed up at our house that should not have been at our house. We were all fine, but that is why we had to call the police. Never have I ever thought a friend's baby was ugly. Yes. There are some people that think all babies are cute, but let me tell you, they're not. Never have I ever gone vegan. No, I have not gone vegan. I don't think I could go vegan. I really need meat. Never have I ever had chicken pox. No, I was vaccinated. Never have I ever cut in line on purpose. No, oh my goodness, don't do it. It is so annoying. Never have I ever held a grudge longer than a year. Heck yes. And it's not petty things like, oh, she said my hair didn't look good this day. Things that people intentionally do against you that just, I gotta learn to let things go. Never have I ever blabbed something I swore to secrecy. Yes. I just love telling my mom everything. Never have I ever chipped a tooth. No, thank goodness. That sounds extremely painful. Never have I ever cut my own hair. Yes, unfortunately, and it was horrendous. I had one of the Barbie doll heads with the hair that you can play with, and I'd been playing with it. It just inspired me to play with my own hair. I grabbed a section and I cut it. I realized, uh-oh, my mom's gonna be able to see this. So my logic was, let me just keep cutting to the root so she won't notice. What was I thinking? So I had zigzag chevron bangs for so long, I cannot stand looking back at pictures with those bangs. Never have I ever accidentally said I love you to someone. No, but I know this happens to people. They'll end a phone call and accidentally say I love you because they just normally say that to their family members. That would be really awkward. Never have I ever worked with someone I could not stand. Yes, you gotta love her, but man, this person was just not kind. Never have I ever eaten food that broke the 5-second rule. Yes, hasn't everybody? Never have I ever blamed a poot on a pet. No, I have blamed one of my poots on another human though. Never have I ever re-gifted something. Yes, there are some things that you get for gifts and you're like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? You re-gift it. Never have I ever been in a talent show. Yes, I have been in a talent show. I sang the song All I've Ever Needed, which I actually sang on YouTube, I think last year. I've chased a million things, bright lights and empty dreams. It was fun. Never have I ever gotten stitches. Yes, I've gotten stitches. I had wrist surgery in March of this year, and I had stitches in my wrist, but I've never gotten a cut and then had to get stitches for that. Never have I ever set something on fire while cooking. No. I sparked something in the microwave before. Never have I ever been scuba diving. No, I have not been scuba diving. My number one fear is a shark. The sight of a shark freaks me out, and I honestly have no clue why. But I probably won't go scuba diving. I went snorkeling when I was on that trip with my school, and we went to Disney's Island, and they have a net barrier so that sharks and big things can't get in. So I felt very comfortable. Never have I ever been on TV. Nope, never been on TV. Plain and simple. Never have I ever had food poisoning. No, I have not had food poisoning. My parents have gotten food poisoning before. Yeah, it was not fun. Never have I ever worn a wig. Yes, I have worn a wig. I was in Junie B. Jones. I wore a wig for that. It was a nice wig, actually. It was pretty cheap off of Amazon, but it was very high quality and it stayed on the whole time. Never have I ever been dumpster diving. No. My cousin has been dumpster diving before, and he's found some interesting things he told me about. Well, I wouldn't say he went dumpster diving, but he went looking around at the dumpster. Never have I ever returned something after I wore it. No. Oh my goodness, no. I've heard of some people buying a fancy dress, wearing it that night, and then returning it the next day. I think that is so wrong. So please don't do that. Never have I ever had braces. Yes, I have. Never have I ever had a cavity. Yes, I've had a cavity on my baby teeth. Now that I don't have any baby teeth, I have not had a cavity. Never have I ever gotten seasick. Kind of, yes. I mentioned earlier that I went on a cruise with my school. The first night there, it was like this. And it kind of made my stomach churn, but I never got extremely sick. Never have I ever thrown up in public. Yes, multiple times. Honestly, I've thrown up a lot of places. I threw up at tennis practice one day, and it was bad. And then I threw up when I went to watch a tennis match. I think I got overheated and I blacked out, and then that happened. Never have I ever witnessed a crime. No. I mean, I feel like I've been close to witnessing a crime before. I remember one time I was with a friend, and if she's watching this, she knows what I'm talking about. We were in Taco Bell, and this guy came in and was asking for money or something, and then he started arguing with the workers. It was not a huge ordeal, but it kind of scared me at that moment, and I guess I could have witnessed a crime if it had gotten any worse. Never have I ever ridden a horse. Yes, I've ridden a horse. I think horses are pretty, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Never have I ever fired a gun. Yes, I have a shotgun that I have fired. It is here for self-defense. Never have I ever run a red light. Yes, I run a red light. It was actually when I still had my permit, so I was 15, and I was in the car with my mom, And since I was so new at driving, I didn't think I had enough time. I had plenty of time to stop. We were safe. Never have I ever met a celebrity. Yes, I have met a celebrity. My family and I were in Dollywood. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani were in the same restaurant that we were eating at. And my brother and my dad said, hey, that looks like Gwen Stefani. And I was like, oh, whatever. It's just a girl that looks like Gwen Stefani. And then Blake Shelton walked in. It was exciting. Never have I ever cried in public. Yes, I remember a time. After a tennis match one day, I was extremely upset because we lost. I'm very competitive. When my dad gave me a hug, I just, started tearing up. Such a petty thing to cry over. Never have I ever used a gas station bathroom. Yes, I have. Hasn't everybody? You gotta go. You gotta go. Never have I ever worn white to a wedding. No. That should be a law. Do not wear white to a wedding unless you are the bride. Never have I ever laughed at a funeral. Yes. They made it lighthearted, they celebrated her life, and they told some funny stories, so I'm sure I laughed at that funeral. Never have I ever been backstage at a concert. No. I went to a Hannah Montana concert when I was young, and I went to the concert, I think it was last year, that had Elevation Worship, Casting Crowns, and Hillsong, but I didn't go backstage. Never have I ever gone skydiving. No. And I'm not afraid of heights, but jumping out of a plane for fun does not sound appealing to me. And number 50, never have I ever auditioned for a TV show. Yes, I have. I auditioned for the show Alexa and Katie that is on Netflix. I used to be signed to an acting agency. I sent in an audition tape for Alexa and Katie. I auditioned for Katie, the blonde. Oh, you didn't ask.
You didn't ask.
I didn't get it, obviously.
I'm pretty sure they chose the right girl. I cannot act for TV shows.
I didn't even make it to the next round. The Bible verse I want to talk about today is Luke 5:16. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. This is in the New Testament when Jesus was doing his ministry. Many people came to him to listen to him speak, and he was surrounded by so many people. But this verse reminds us that he withdrew to lonely places and he prayed. I think it is important for us to find a spot or a place or a time that is our set time for a devotion one-on-one with God. Yes, it is great to do devotions with other people as well, but it is important for us to have our own time with God. There are a lot of things that you can do to spend time with God, but make sure that it is a priority in your life. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope y'all took some inspiration from these things and found some new adventures that you want to explore, because some of these things on the Never Have I Ever list were interesting and actually made me want to try some things out. And I hope you learned just a little bit more about me. Don't forget that you are welcome to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I hope you'll have an amazing day and a wonderful week. Be a blessing to others today. Bye, guys.